First of all, I would just like to say if you're easily offended by bad words or sarcastic humor or language or anything that just might be offensive, you should probably get out right now because it'll be better for the both of us. But this is where we say goodbye. Anyway, this is volume 2 of Bitches, which is where I just draw girls of my comfort zone just for the sake of my self-indulgence. Again, this does not represent how I view how girls should be in real life. It's again just what I wanted to draw for fun. This sketchbook I got from Italy, so it might be hard to find online because I tried to look for it and I couldn't really find it, but you can try, I guess. Anyway, in this episode or video, I'll just talk about what inspires me. So for example, I've noticed a lot of you were like, ooh, your art reminds me of panty and stocking, or something like that, and that is what I would say would be one of my aspirations. Ever since I was little, I wanted it to be like fucking Panty and Stocking so fucking bad. Like, y'all, you don't even understand. When Panty and Stocking came out, I was so intimidated by it that I did not watch it until like 2 years ago because it just looked too good for me. I felt like I was not worthy of watching this show just because the art looked so great. But the fact that some people are starting to notice that my art resembles it in some way is very honoring to me because, you know, I love that show and I love the art. Now, Panty and Stocking is probably more of an aspiration than an inspiration because to me, inspirations are more of things outside of art that motivate me to do art, such as like music, traveling, spending time with friends and family, and stuff like that. So I would say one of my biggest inspirations, and this is gonna be a really cheesy one, but it's my family and my friends. Because not only do we have a lot of nice memories together and good times, but there are times where I feel a lot of life things, emotional things get in my way, and the only people I can talk to about it are really my family and my close friends. Like, I almost have a no filter system with my friends and family 99.9% of the time where I can say whatever without feeling like I'm being judged, but even if they do judge, it's like, I don't give a shit because I know you love me no matter what, ho. Like, this bitch ain't gonna ditch me no matter what I say, but it's just, you need someone to always, you need that one perfect toilet to take the perfect shit in, you know? It's like, you can't poop if you're constipated, so the rest of your day is going to be uncomfortable because of that. For me, I can't work until I release some emotional stress out because it's hard for me to just work and really enjoy what I'm doing when I don't really know how to handle my emotions. But I'm really glad that I have my friends and family in my life because a lot of the times they're there for me to hear me be a bitch, and half the times I might say shit that I don't know why they didn't ditch me for yet, but that's why they the true hoes. Another thing that heavily inspires me is electronic music, specifically because for me, I really like electronic music because they are very sound driven and I really like sounds. Like, I like songs with lyrics and vocals. Some electronic songs have lyrics and vocals too, but they're not usually the driving force. Wow, this is gonna get so deep so fast, but I was always that little girl in the past who did not have her voice because she was so quiet, but it's like electronic music. They don't have a voice, but they have a voice with their sounds. Do you know what I'm saying? Like again, yeah, sometimes they have vocals, but normally electronic music is just sounds made by the computer or a sound library, I don't know. And I just like the sound of sounds acting together, working together to form a melody, bouncing back and forth. I don't know, something, it's just so like hypnotically great about it. But yeah, my favorite artists are Porter Robinson and Madeon. I'll always be a slut for them. And I also really like Odessa and Illenium, just to name a few. I don't really listen to like EDM or poppy electronic music. It's just the type of electronic music I like to listen to is mostly emotional half the time, or it's chillish, or it's like stuff that you could listen to while you're walking around in like an ugly or boring or trashy place, and suddenly everything is just beautiful, like everything just became like a beautiful meadow or some shit, or I don't know. It's like smoking weed without the weed. Just plug in those headphones and blaze it. And another thing that inspires me is photos. It could be anything. It could be a photo from the internet, photo from a magazine, my own personal photos. In terms of the internet and magazines, I see photos of places that I would want to go to because they look like a place that I would be fascinated by if I were there. And photos of from magazines, normally fashion magazines, are like my whole sketchbook right now is just based off of a lot of fashion magazines because it's just something I find aesthetically pleasing. I like fashion, I like makeup, so I just want to draw that stuff sometimes. And when it comes to my personal photos though, like bitch, oh my god. I could open my iPhoto library at 8 p.m. and not finish looking at it until like 4 in the morning. I don't know. Because anytime I open my iPhoto library, I look at one photo, but I end up looking at everything else, and it just takes such a long ass time, and I end up sending them to my friends, like, remember this moment. Just something about looking back at your life makes you appreciate life more, I guess, because you just remember this was a happy time in my life, but you want to experience something like that again because it was so great. And for me, that personally motivates me to work and draw, because the more I work, the more I draw, the more I'll get done on my film, the more I'll get done on my sketchbook, the more closer I'll be to improving my skills and applying to a job, maybe getting a job, and I'll be able to get those chances of hanging out again or going to that certain place I want to, because I don't know, that's just the way I think. I get really easily excited by things to look forward to in the future, and because of that, it helps me work better now. And lastly, what has recently inspired me a lot is just simply just not giving a shit, because I'm not saying don't reject criticism or feedback. When you're in school, when you're at work, yes, you should probably take that into consideration, but when you go home and want to draw whatever you want, just draw whatever you want. Like, that's what I'm doing with the bitches sketchbook. You need this time to just be in your comfort zone. You need the time to remember why you're here in the first place. You need that time to just draw shit that you like, no matter how repetitive it may be, but it's just a constant reminder that you're doing this because you liked something about it. And not only are you still like enhancing your own style or whatever through that, but you're taking the time to just appreciate what you're doing, because you don't want your life, you don't want to hate drawing someday, because when it becomes your work, it's going to become something you may possibly hate, but you need reasons to continually like drawing. So I just think you need to take the time in the day to just be a little selfish and just draw whatever you want or what you like, because as long as what you draw is making you happy, that's going to allow you to just keep going. But yeah, that was Bitches Volume 2. Sorry if some of the pages were hard to see because the graphite reflects the light, and pencil life. And of course, I will tell you the supplies I used for this. Of course, again, I used the mild liners from Zebra. They're Japanese highlighters. They're not exactly for drawing or coloring, but I just use it anyway because why the fuck not? And I also just use this Bic mechanical pencil. It's just there for convenience, I guess. And lastly, wait, no, this is not lastly. I think I'm reaching for the marker right now, but in the meanwhile, look at my great legs. I used Crayola Super Tips, ratchet ass Copics. If you don't have the money for Copics, use Crayola. And wow, my legs. Hot. Utrecht colored pencils in the shade Vermilion, because again, it sounds hot. Also, my nails are gone. That's pretty depressing, so I'm sorry you had to look at my nasty ass hands. Like, my nails are legit dead. Like, I had to soak them in acetone. They literally looked like a dead person's hands when I took them out. Also, again, if you're interested, my sketchbook is available on Gumroad for 500 payments of 1 penny, so if you ever feel willing to help a college hoe in need, I could make some good use of those 500 pennies, wink wink. But no, really, thank you all for supporting me so much. It really means a lot. I didn't think anyone would actually buy my sketchbooks, but it means a lot that you do, you know. Thank you so much, and I hope y'all have a great ass day.